Hello, everyone. Hi, Namaste, welcome. I thought I'd do a little restorative yoga introduction. I'm Rachael, founder of Eva and Alma, which is a wellness business that hopes to teach people how to achieve inner peace in life and death. Because I'm a soul midwife as well, but that's for another story. Through balancing the mind, body, soul, using a sacred act of self-care. Bit of a mouthful, but we'll get there. But part of what I'm doing is I teach restorative yoga. It's one of my favourite forms of yoga for me personally. The reason why is I live with a neurological condition which is trauma-based. So physical trauma in my body has caused my nervous system to rewire, and I now have to manage that daily with the help of a neurologist and through lots of holistic health and wellbeing services for myself. Self-care for me is my healthcare. And I've always wanted to, since learning so much about my own healthcare, self-care journey over the last almost 10 years, I really want to help others with their own understanding of self-care, because I have to do a lot of it and it's my superpower. But there are a lot of people out there that don't live with chronic illness and complicated conditions who don't necessarily self-care or know much about it, and don't know that they're missing out on this amazing superpower. So that's me garbling on. The reason why I'm here today is restorative yoga. So just one of the things that I started to do was yoga, but not the yoga, because I've had spinal trauma, that's my trauma. I'm unable to do the traditional hatha yoga, which is the sun salutations. There's a lot more physical movement. It's beautiful. And I can very occasionally join into a really slow one, but it's not really the yoga that my body enjoys doing. And I'm trying to let my body talk to me. So I was absolutely over the moon when I tried my first restorative yoga class, because I blooming loved it, and I regularly practiced it for almost 2 years before deciding to become a teacher myself. And it's one of the methods that I use on my own healthcare journey that's really helped me. It's helped me with my health condition. We've all got a nervous system. We all have emotions and we all move our bodies. So anything that can calm the nervous system, which is think of it as a software, like a computer software that connects your mind and body. Anything that works with that is extremely powerful, and restorative yoga is one of those. It forces you into stillness, into self-compassion, into listening to your body and nourishing your body. And yeah, it's generally, even though you don't look like you're doing much, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. So not only are you working to quieten the mind, which is really good for everybody. If you're somebody that's sat there going, I don't have time to lie down and do anything, you really need it more than most. It's really important to be able to give your brain time to switch off and for yourself to listen to your body. So this is for you. You just need to, when the time feels right, embrace it, or another form of quietening the mind, okay? So I'm not trying to say restorative for everybody. I think I've spoken that restorative connects us to the parasympathetic side of our nervous system. So in our very young modern world, we're very much in the sympathetic nervous system, which is very much your fight or flight mode. We're constantly on the go. We're constantly like, whoa, I'm ready to go. And we very rarely connect with the other side, which is the parasympathetic side, which is your rest and digest side. I call it like the battery that's running low, and you plug it into the wall and you give it the supercharge. It's the calming side of the nervous system. It's the side of our nervous system that's out of balance for majority of people. You don't have to have a health condition for this. So I love restorative because we connect to that side of the nervous You improve your respiratory system, your circulation, you improve your blood pressure. It normally lowers it. If you do have low blood pressure, we can adapt classes, but it does lower your blood pressure. It's all been scientifically proven to be great for your mind, body, and spirit, or soul, however you adapt that. And it's blissful. The biggest challenge is being able to sit with yourself and hear the thoughts that are coming in and giving yourself the time to do this. So restorative yoga, like I said, is very still. We hold poses for between sort of 7 to 15 minutes on average, but some poses you can take up to 25 minutes at a time. It's like very meditative, really. It's more like a meditation, but we are actually doing something with our body as well. So you lots and lots to allow our body to go into positions that you would do in the traditionally well-known yogas. So to do like a gentle back bend, for example, we do back bends, but we do them in a way on the floor with props. So you're putting your body into that position to your level. So your body might move an inch. If your body's telling you to move an inch and no further and to hold it there, then that's where you go. We don't push and we don't force. We listen to our own body. We're all made differently. We'll all look differently. I look differently. It's such a beautiful time to connect to your own self, your own signals. So in my class, so I'm doing online classes at the moment. And I'll put the link below if you're interested, because I am doing them at home at the moment. And yeah, you'll need props. So I'll put the links below, along with props that you'll need. And if you don't have yoga props, there's lots of alternatives. I also have an affiliate link that I can give any of my students a discount on yoga props as well. I'll put that in the bottom. So we always start, we welcome ourselves to the mat. We connect to the breath, and I either continue with the breath or I take us into a meditation. I go with the flow with that, how it feels. I'm Zen trained. Sometimes I bring some Zen philosophy into it. Totally depends on what the theme of the class is. We then take around 4 poses throughout the rest of the class, and we hold them for a while, and it's beautiful and it's gentle and it's nourishing. So what I'm going to do now is just show you and take you through some of the props. So for yoga time, so pre-yoga props, bolsters. This is a yoga bolster. These are great to have at home anyway for meditating and for using if you've got a home practice, for supporting and nourishing your body. So yoga bolster. In restorative yoga, we like a good old weighted eye mask. I don't know if you can see those. I have those in my self-care kits at the moment. These are lavender ones, but you don't have to get lavender ones. And these ones in particular, you can put in the microwave, put in the freezer, so they're a bonus. So yeah, you can, weighted eye masks are brilliant. The reason why weighted eye masks are used is because they help us to relax deeper. The weighted eye mask actually increases melatonin from blocking out the light, which actually aids sleep. So you might not, even if you don't fall asleep in the class, it will help promote melatonin to help you sleep better when you do go to bed on the night. Also connects to the vagus nerve, which is the biggest nerve in the parasympathetic nervous system that goes from the back of your brain right down through the digestive system. So it's great because it connects you to that. Also, blocks, yoga blocks. Normally 2 are used. We normally like 2 yoga blocks. Again, you can get them from lots of different places. I'll put a code for my recommended place underneath. Blankets. I like loads of blankets. So I would always recommend, whenever you do a restorative yoga class, to get as many blankets as you can. You can never have too little, because we can adjust and nourish as much as we can and want to. So thoroughly recommend blankets, particularly if you don't have yoga props, you'll need even more. And obviously a yoga mat. I don't know if you can see, I'm just going to tip that for a moment. I've got my lovely yoga mat there. And can you see I've got my lovely fur underneath it for extra nourishment as well. So I'll just put that back up. So those are the yoga props we've got. If you've got a strap, we can use straps. If you don't have a strap at home, I'd probably recommend a dressing gown belt or a tie. So there's so many different ways you can adapt to this if you don't have yoga props. Also, if you don't have a bolster, this is a rolled up Pilates mat that I've tied up. And these are quite good for certain moves that still take place of a bolster as well. And, you know, sofa cushions, big sturdy sofa cushions, pillows, rolled up towels, rolled up blankets, all can do things like this. It's about experimenting with props. A pile of books that don't have really sharp corners can be used instead of a block in certain circumstances, to where you get creative with props. It is better to have yoga props, but if you don't, it doesn't mean you can't get involved at all. Just use stuff from your home. So yeah, so I'll just take you and show you very quickly my favourite restorative yoga pose is called Goddess, and I'm going to use yoga props for this, okay? So you take one block and you place it vertically, standing up where your head's going to go, and you place a block flat just in front, like so. You take your bolster and you place it on the block, making sure the block can take the weight, okay? Yeah, make myself look, I call it the Goddess throne, because it's actually called the Goddess pose. So then what I like to do is, make sure you blanket and eye mask, is you place the base of the bolster at the base of your spine, you bring the soles of your feet together and you lie down on the bolster and you allow your knees to part. Now, I don't have the props to show you right now because I didn't plan this. And what will happen is my hips and my inner thighs will open the longer we stay here, and it can be quite dangerous. We don't want to force our body, we don't want to overstretch our body. This is about nourishment. So what I would do in this instance is use blankets or extra blocks if you've got them to take the weight underneath and allow your body to just naturally, without opening too much, fall into place. And take an eye mask. And then here we are in Goddess pose. Blankets, it's quite warm in this lovely room, but blankets over as well. And arms by your side with your palms facing up. And then what I do in class is I connect us to the breath and allow us to just check in, make sure there's no tension in the body. If there is, we adjust, we use more props, okay? So we take time to get into restorative yoga poses and then we hold them. And yeah, that's just an example of a restorative yoga pose. I do hope you decide to join one of my classes. Again, I'll put the link below. At the moment, I've got 2 a week, but as you know, things change. It's for everybody. I'll be limited numbers to make sure that we still get that like class experience, but it'll just be digital at the moment. So yeah, enjoy. And when we get back up and running to face-to-face classes, I'm based in Stourbridge in the West Midlands, and I hold weekly face-to-face yoga classes, and I also do private restorative and Zen yoga as well, and I can do that online. So yeah, I look forward to joining you. I hope you enjoyed the explanation of restorative yoga so you understand it a little bit more, and why it's different to some of the other yogas. There are so many different yogas. There's one for everybody. I think the important part is balance. If you are doing Ashtanga and pushing your body, then please consider balancing yourself out with a restorative or a yin or something more gentle as well, to make sure you're in flow and you're balanced. Likewise, if you physically can, I physically can't now because of my condition, but it doesn't mean everyone's the same. If you are doing a lot of the meditative yogas like restorative, then ensure that you're moving your body as well. Always comes back to balance. If you can, I understand if you can't. If you are injured, and restorative yoga is really good for calming the nervous system and helping with pain and healing. So that's why I love it, because it really is for everybody. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.